Hey, and welcome back to Clean Air on Air, the weekly news roundup brought to you by the Clean Air Action Fund. This week we're bringing you a special report on the State of the Air report that was published today by the American Lung Association. Let's get into it. Every year, the American Lung Association releases a report about the quality of air in local communities. Under the Clean Air Act, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, also known as EPA, is required to set health-based limits, the national ambient air quality, for 6 dangerous outdoor air pollutants. The State of the Air report covers 2 of those pollutants, fine particulate matter and ozone. Fine particulate are small particles that are generated from all forms of combustion, including cars and trucks, industrial plants, and residential heating. They are 2.5 microns in diameter, so when lined up, 20 of these particles can fit across an entire width of human hair. It's a lot of particles. Ozone, also known as smog, is a gas composed of molecules with 3 oxygen atoms. Ozone forms in the lower atmosphere when combined with other pollutants, usually nitrogen oxides and volatile organic compounds. The 2022 State of the Air report is based on data from 2017 to 2019. Here's what the air quality looks like overall. 2.1 million more people are breathing unhealthy levels of air pollution compared to last year's report. More than 4 in 1 Americans, over 137 million people, live in places with unhealthy levels of air pollution. Nearly 9 million people were impacted by daily spikes in deadly particle pollution than reported last year. And the combination of policy-driven reductions in emissions and climate change-fueled increases in pollution are causing disparities between air quality in eastern and western states. 96 counties in 15 states got failing grades for short-term particles, and 86 of them were in 11 western states. The 2022 air report covers 3 years. In those 3 years, Americans experienced more days of very unhealthy or hazardous air quality than ever before in the 2-decade history of the state of the air. Crazy. Close to 19.8 million people live in 14 counties that failed all 3 measures. Of those 14.1 million people are people of color. People of color were 61% more likely than white people to live in a county with failing grades for at least one pollutant, and 3.6 times as likely to live in a county with failing grades for all pollutants. So what about Pennsylvania? Pittsburgh is ranked number 14 out of 25, and Philadelphia is ranked 18 out of 25 for worst metropolitan areas for annual particle pollution. New York City did not make the top 25 list. Pittsburgh is ranked number 22 out of 25 for worst metropolitan areas for daily particle pollution. No other metropolitan areas in Pennsylvania were on the list of the top 25. Allegheny County received straight Fs for ozone and fine particles. They've received this grade for the past 9 years in a row. Allegheny and Lancaster County improved their annual design value, a 3-year average used to determine if an area is meeting the National Ambient Air Quality Standard. Beaver, Chester, Cumberland, Northampton, and Philadelphia had slight increases in the number of high particulate days. This looks like an increase of 1 orange day over 3 years. Delaware County had a significant increase for high particulate days, so much so that it increased from 2 orange days over 3 years. The number of high ozone days fell in all 5 counties in the Philadelphia area. Philadelphia and Bucks County, while decreasing, both received F ratings. In recent years, new threats have emerged that are causing air pollution levels to rise and the potential harm to vulnerable populations to increase. Climate change is causing the disruption of short and long-term weather patterns and rising global temperatures, which is putting the health of Americans at risk. The impacts of climate change currently being experienced are an increase in extreme weather events, deterioration of air quality from increased ozone formation and wildfire smoke, expansion of the range of disease-carrying pets, and increased stresses that affect mental health and well-being. Increased heat and drought caused by climate change are resulting in larger, more frequent wildfires that can spread for over hundreds of thousands of miles, polluting the air breathed by millions of people. The most widespread health threat from smoke is from fine particles. The COVID-19 pandemic has transformed personal shopping behavior, accelerating online shopping. This has caused an increase in the number of delivery trucks and vans on the road, supported by warehouses, distribution centers, and long-distance haulers. The increase in traffic from these operations brings more unhealthy air pollution to communities. This has also impacted port cities and cargo imports, causing an increase in shipping traffic and idling in harbors and offshore. All of these components pose serious health hazards to communities, especially freight-impacted communities. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Leanna McNew, and this is Nori, and we're signing off for Clean Air on Air. I'll see you next week.